Hello. How are y'all doing today? Thank you so much for joining us on this evening. It's been a day. It's been a day. Give me 1 second. It has completely been a day. It's very much been a Monday. But I'm glad to be here, despite it being very much a Monday. Thank you guys for joining us again on this week. Hey, Miss Judy, how you doing? So good to see you. Hey, Jermaine. It's been as I was sharing. Hey, Cotton. It's been quite a Monday. Right after quite a weekend. So thank you guys for taking the time today to join us on the next session of the Ask Jan Please Talk session. I appreciate you. Guys, I can't say it enough. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you that jump on with us every week live. Those that come in when they're off work, when they've handled their home business. What's up, brother? How you doing? I appreciate all of it. And I also appreciate those that come back later and catch the replay. Those that listen in maybe Monday nights or sometime during the week, and then they send their comments, their questions in to me, just commenting back and forth on what we've already discussed. I absolutely love it. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that those of you that join us live, hey, woman of God, how you doing? Those that join us live, that they have the courage to comment, the courage to reply, the courage to just jump right out the tree, as my good friend Ebony says, and share with us what they're thinking, what they're feeling, their thoughts. It takes a lot of courage to do that. Y'all may think it's very easy to speak publicly in front of people on such a very public platform. Hey, Mom, how you doing? I love you. So without further ado, tonight, I'm going to give the quick history as I always do. I get really excited when I get right here because I just remember when. Ask Jan was something that God gave me a few years ago, and he didn't give me the particulars, the behind the scenes. He just gave me sort of kind of like a brief overview. Fast forward to last year, I was in the salon visiting with one of my very, very good friends, Shannon Hargrove. Shouts out to Shannon. She just celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday, Shannon. We love you. I was in the shop visiting with her, and she and I got to talking, and we were sharing, and as she and I always do, we kind of laugh and joke and go back and forth and cry and might even fuss a little bit. And so she was like, hey, she calls me Jan, as I always say. She was like, Jan, you need to do something like this, like on a regular basis. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, maybe like a podcast, a little show, a little talk session. So I immediately began weeping and crying because I was like, God, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. So in less than an hour, we had launched the Ask Jan Please Talk session, and we went live that very next week. We're a year older now. We just celebrated our year anniversary, and I'm so thankful about that. I appreciate that so very much. So without further ado, I feel like I'm at the starting gate, and I'm waiting for them to fire the gun for me to get the rolling. So tonight we are going to talk about love tanks. This is a subject that's near and dear to my heart. I've talked about this subject directly, indirectly, as an addition to, as a prerequisite to other things before. And so the title Love Tanks comes from our reference material on tonight, which is I would say famous, because it's famous to me, the famous book written in a couple of different editions. It's been translated to numerous languages by D. Gary Chapman. Awesome. When I say awesome book, really, really awesome book. And so the name of the book is The 5 Love Languages. Yes. And I purchased this book years and years and years and years ago. And, I learned what I learned at that time. And over the years, like every year or so, I kind of go back and reread it and look at my notes and just kind of seek the Lord on some other things or whatever. And I know, I get it. I hear you. It's not just about, when you hear the word 5 love languages, it is not just exclusive to romantic relationships. It's not. It absolutely is not. And so when we're talking about the title Love Tanks, what happens is the way that you show and receive your love to your loved ones, to your children, your grandchildren, to your peers, to your friends, to your coworkers, to whomever you're in a romantic relationship with, is based on what your love language is. And so when you have that love language, there are times and opportunities and chances that we hope that everybody takes full advantage of to fill the other person's love tank, or you work to fill other people's love tank. I know it's not to be looked at as an assignment. It's not to be looked at specifically as something to add to your to-do list. What I want us to understand is that I want us to be enlightened by this. I would care for us to take this insight and just, put it in our hearts and meditate on it and learn from it and grow from it, because it has truly blessed me. It is my hope and prayer and petition to God that it blesses you as well. And so what happens is, and I'm just giving a brief overview, if you have not already, get the book. It will bless your entire life if you are willing to receive it. The name of the book is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And so in this book, he talks about the way that people show their love and the way that people receive their love. And sometimes the way that you show your love may not necessarily be how you expect to receive it. And so what happens with us, sometimes we get our wires crossed and we expect a thing or an act or a feeling from a person, and we don't get that. And so what happens is that means that our love tanks are running on empty, or they're running low. Or what happens in friendships, we have a level of expectation for that friend that friend doesn't know that we have for them. And so our love tanks are running on empty because the friend has no idea what we're expecting from them. So if you kind of stay with me, we're going somewhere. So when we're talking about love tanks, we're talking about how we show and receive our love. Show and receive our love, because it can be different. It can be different the way that you would want to express your love to your children versus how you express your love in your romantic relationships. It is different. It is very different. And I hear people saying, just in conversation, in just having an open and honest dialogue with some people, that they feel like they're competing. And we should not. We absolutely should not be competing in different aspects of our lives. Like the love that we have for our children should not compete with the love that we have for our significant other. The love that we have for our significant other should not compete with the love that we have for our parents. The love that we have for our parents could not and should not compete with the love and regard that we have for people who we work with on a daily basis. Those things are different. They're different areas. And so in those different areas, we have love tanks in each of those different areas. And so when we work to have our love tanks filled, then it kind of makes us feel good. That's basically what happens. You feel good, you feel loved, you feel cared for, you feel valued. You feel like, if I had to describe it, you feel amazing. You feel absolutely amazing. And so before I give you the brief overview of the 5 love languages, I want to share an example with you. So for me, everybody knows that I absolutely love my rotten grandchildren. Oh my God, they're so rotten. I mean, like, they really rotten. And so what happens for me is my love tank with my grandchildren is filled in the simplest of things. We don't have to do nothing great and grand and fantastic. Although I want to do some of that stuff with them, my love tank is filled by watching them play. It does my heart good. Like, I feel so excited. Hey, Evangelist. Hey, best friend. Hey, April, how you doing? My love tank is filled by being able, having the ability to go to their functions and programs and games and activities and show up and be there and root for them and support them and love on them and take 500 pictures. That fills my love tank. It makes me feel absolutely amazing. And sometimes my love tank is so full with them. It's like, oh my God, like I want to share this with other people. Like, who can I tell about this? Who can I help to understand that we need to work towards doing things to fill our love tanks? Now, they're younger, so they don't know, or I can't really adequately communicate to them at the age that they're at what I need to fill my love tank. So as an adult, it is more my responsibility to have my love tank filled where my grandchildren are related, because I'm the grown person and they're little people, but they do it with no effort. That sweet, wet sugar that they give me, love tank full. Them hugs that almost be about to knock me down, love tank full. When they video call me, when they're doing something amazing, or they're at an activity, or they're spending time with their other grandparents and relatives and stuff, and they video call me and they say, look, Gigi, love tank full. That's how we work towards getting our love tanks filled. So it's a little bit different when it's adult to adult. There's a little bit more of a responsibility. There should be a little bit more of accountability. And so that was my example. Let me quickly give us what Gary Chapman talks about as the 5 love languages. 1 is words of affirmation. Hey, good job. Oh, you look amazing today. I love that shirt you have on. Those shoes are to die for. You did a good job on that presentation. Hey, I liked dinner that you cooked last night. It was delicious. Words of affirmation. Simply put, you speaking well. You speaking good stuff to people. The next one is acts of service. Acts of service. An example of acts of service would be for me when I go to church on Wednesdays and Sundays. I have about 3 or 4 bags. Like I have my purse, then I have my church bag, they have my books and my notebooks and my clipboards and my laptop in it for church. And then I may have a personal bag that may have a little bit of church stuff in it, may have some stuff I may have been working on, when I had a few moments and stuff like that. So for me, an act of service would be for one of my good, lovely, wonderful, splendid church members to help me tote all my bags in the church. Acts of service completely fills my love tank. Completely fills my love tank. Or when we've had service, when we had a high time in the Lord, it's 3 or 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon and I am exhausted and I'm, just thinking about what I have going on for the very next week. And then one of my church members will say, Minister Bird, where your keys at? I'm going to take your stuff to the car. Love tank full. Another love language that Gary Chapman talks about is physical touch. A hug. And we've missed a lot of that during the pandemic. And this is my personal opinion. This is not Bible. This is strictly Janice. I think that a lot of people have suffered in that area because we're doing less and less physical touch. We're not hugging as much as we used to do. We're not patting each other on the back as much as we used to do. We don't give as many high fives. We do a few fist bumps, a few elbow bumps, but that does not replace or supersede a good hug. That does not replace that. And I'm a hugger, so I understand what it's like. I understand that people need physical touch. And so, I get a lot of hugs from my little sweet grandchildren. So I normally do okay with it. But for people who don't have grandchildren, for people who don't have a lot of family members that they have been able to spend some time with, despite dealing with COVID-19, they may be suffering in the area of physical touch. Another love language is receiving gifts. That's my love language. That's my number 1. Receiving gifts. Doesn't it do your heart well when somebody shows up, like you get to work and your coworker, the person next door, they brought you your favorite coffee drink. It do it for me. Or you show up to a friend's house and she say, oh, I got you these nice pair of shoes you was talking about. Or, for example, I hung out with my best friend and my little niece a couple of weeks ago, and we were in the same store. Like, we were literally like shopping in the same store. And she bought me some jewelry. Y'all, I about cried. Cause I love it. To me, it's that little extra special thing that people do. And the cost is not the issue. I mean, like we like nice things now, but the cost is not the issue. It's the thought that counts. It's how you feel when that person does it. And so lastly, the fifth love language is quality time. Quality time. Sitting and chilling and sitting, watching a movie, going for a drive, spending some time together, going for a walk. It does it. I'm gonna put my own business out there and one of my children on blast. My middle child, my oldest daughter, Ishmael, she loves quality time. She do. She call me Mom. Literally, like when I answer, I be like, hello. She be like, Mom. And I say, what? What you doing? And I tell her whatever I'm doing, or I say I'm doing nothing. Hey, Pamela. And she be like, oh, like Thursday. You want to go to the movies? On a Thursday? A Friday Eve? So she was like, well, come on, go to the movies with us. So we gathered up, her 3 kids and mine. I stopped and got my son's 2 kids, and we went to the movies. Y'all, I looked at them the whole time. I'm wiping tears. I was like, look at them. They just looking at the movie. I ain't hardly seen the movie. I can't tell you what the movie was about. I don't know. I was just enjoying spending time. And we watched the movie. Then she went on home with her crew. I dropped my son's crew off. And that was it. Quality time. Quality time means a lot. It means a lot to some people. Some people want to see your face in the place and your body in the party. They want you to be there present with them. And I don't mean be there, but be clicking on your phone, or you in their company, but you on your phone talking to other people, unless the 3 of you or a group of you are spending some time together. Quality time is very important in friendships. It's very important in relationships. And in some cases, it is very important in work relationships, because you need team building. You need to foster growth amongst the team. So I've highlighted just a brief overview. If you're just joining us, we're talking about love tanks on tonight. And our reference for tonight is Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages. If you haven't gotten it, get it, because he has like the regular edition for couples. He has the singles edition. He has the men's edition. He has the children's edition. He has the teenagers. It's been translated, like I said, to several different languages. There is a quiz you can take to find out what your love language is. There is like a workbook study guide that you can do to go along with it. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of things to go along with it. And so I was sharing my examples of my love tanks being filled in the different areas of my life. So I gotta ask, I have to ask on tonight, how is yours? How is your love tank? Is it full? Is it empty? Is it halfway? Do it need like a little deposit in it? Do it need like a little charge or whatever? What does your love tank look like? Are you like just about on fumes? You running on empty? Pamela said, repeat the name of the book. The name of the book is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. You can look it up online. Most bookstores have it. I've given it to numerous people for different gifts, especially wedding gifts or bridal shower gifts. I've given it to people because it helps. It definitely helps. They sell it in the Christian bookstores. I can tell you 2 places that I know for sure that they carry it pretty regularly, because I frequent those places. And that would be Hobby Lobby's, and also the new Christian bookstore in West Columbia is Mardale. Or you can order it offline. There are digital copies. You can, I know you can get it on your Kindle through Amazon. You can get it on, I believe, Goodreads.com. I think it is. But if you just Google it, it'll come up and show you all the different outlets and the different ways and manners that you can get that book. Best friend. Listen, that book blessed my entire life. And every time I read it, every time I just go back and look, because he's revamped it a couple of times. The basic information is still the same, but you know, he's kind of like added some stuff. Like years ago when I got it, there wasn't a study guide. There was a quiz, but it wasn't, you couldn't, you know, you had to kind of like download it and look it up and stuff. But now you can go right online and do it within a couple of minutes to find out what your love languages are. And they usually kind of do a primary and a secondary kind of love language. And so I just think it's amazing. I think it's amazing because it helps us to understand the dynamics of what people expect from us. It does. It helps us to understand those dynamics of what people expect from us. It helps us to understand the dynamics of how those expectations affect our relationship with that person. Whether it's family, whether it's parent to child, whether and when I say child, I don't just mean young children. I mean like adult children as well. Whether it's work relationships, whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, it helps us to understand. And so because I've read the book, I don't know all of it and I don't know everything, but I work hard on trying to be as good a person as I can be. One, to myself first, because if I'm at my best self, then I'm able to be my very best self to other people. But I work at trying to be that particular better person to other people. Because I understand that sometimes what people need and want and expect may be different from what my regular mode of operation is. Sometimes it may be different. I tell people all the time, I'm like the most introverted extrovert. Yeah. Like I love people. I absolutely love people. I can talk, laugh, joke, have a good time. But at a certain point, that's it. I gotta get my personal time. I gotta get my time with myself, like straight alone time. I have to spend time with God, just me and God. Cause you know, Janice have to spend that time to make sure that Janice straight. So when I think of my love tank, when I think of the people that are around me, the people that I talk to on a regular basis, the people that I am friends with, the people that I am in close proximity with regularly and consistently, I think in my head about their love tank. I think what matters to them. I think what makes them feel wanted, what makes them feel needed, what makes them feel cared for. And so when I'm thinking of that in my head, I'm essentially working on filling their love tank. I'm essentially working towards sometimes meeting expectations that they don't even realize that they have. Because some people have never heard of the 5 love languages. They've never heard of love tanks. They've never heard of make deposits regularly into love tanks. They've never heard of that. So all they know is they feel some kind of way, you know, because so-and-so didn't do this, or so-and-so didn't say this, or so-and-so didn't give them this, or so-and-so didn't have this available, or do this particular act or act of service for them. They feel some kind of way, and they don't even understand why. And the reason why, more than not, is probably because their love tank is running on empty, or it needs a deposit. It needs some help. It needs it needs some little go-tos to be dropped in there to make them feel a little bit better. And so I want us to understand that there are different categories. There are different parts and pieces to our love tanks. One is family. Brother, sister, cousin, auntie, mother, grandmother. You know, you can look at it from that. All your family. You can group that in that particular category. Then there's romantic relationships. Significant other, spouses, someone you're dating seriously. There's friendships. And you know, I talk about all the time how there are different levels of friendship. Close. Go to innermost circle to little bit, some kind of you know, you kind of kick it a little bit, but not a whole lot. And then there are extended friends that you don't see a lot. Love tanks still need to be filled. You still need to make deposits. And so there are children, like those of us parents who have children, we need to work towards filling our children's love tanks. And I know, I get it. I absolutely get it, because I used to say it myself. Especially, I'd be like, that's not my job. And I didn't think about it like that. I was just thinking about like, well, I'm going to work, I'm paying bills. Like, what more they want? They love tank to be filled. They want to hear that they're doing a good job. What more do they need? If their love language is hugs, then they may need extra hugs. What more do they need? They may need a pat on their back. They may need for you to stop by and get their favorite ice cream and bring it home from work. They may need that. They may need you to spend extra special time with just them. When my children were little and they were in grade school, it was hard, but the Lord saw us through. Yes, y'all. Thank God. But I would pick them up. I would try to do it at least about once or twice a month, but I would pick one of them up by themselves from school, and we would go and do something special. Like one of them might want ice cream. The other one, we might go to the mall and do a little bit of shopping, or maybe Walmart or something, and do a little bit of shopping. The other one, I might sit down and look at 2/4 of a game. Yeah. Because I was really interested, and I had read this book. I was really interested in doing what made my children feel loved. I didn't always get it right. I didn't always do it. But especially when they were younger, I worked really hard at trying to do that. Trying to get that done. Hey, Shanta, how you doing? Congratulations. It's a fiance. Congratulations. So I want us to understand that even in our workplace, that we have love tanks, even in our workplace. We have parts of us that are seeking and searching and wanting people to fulfill those areas. And they don't even know that we want them to be fulfilled. They don't even understand that they need to be fulfilled. They just looking at us like, why she got a bad attitude? They're just looking at us like, well, Mike come to work every day and he wait on people to say something to him before he engages in dialogue. Because Mike's, love language might be words of affirmation. He might need to hear, hey, Mike, glad to see you here today. Got a sharp shirt on today. Mike might need to hear that. We don't understand. We don't think. Sometimes we don't. I want to say this in the right way. We should absolutely be important to ourselves. Absolutely. But we also, because we live here on this earth and in this world, we should have a regard, a care, and concern for other people. And so when we're talking about love tanks, it means that we have a regard, a care, and concern for what matters to other people. What makes them feel special? What makes them feel wanted? What makes them feel treasured? And I know it sounds like extra work, but in relationships and friendships, in family relationships, it can really, really help you. It can really help you if you understand what really helps that person. In romantic relationships, you need to know that your significant other cares more for quality time than a new purse. You need to know that, because you could buy them 10 new purses and it's almost like they feel invisible because you bought them 10 purses, but you haven't sat down with them and spent an hour just looking at a show or a movie or something. We need to kind of think outside of ourselves as it relates to love tanks. And we need to also work towards filling our own love tanks. Like, take a page out my book. I work on my love tank pretty regularly. I work on it pretty regular. I don't always get it right, but I try. Like, for me, like I love Chili's. I love to go in there and sit down and eat. So my love tank was feeling a little low last week. I had a busy week. I was tired. It was productive, but I was still tired. So Friday, when I got off from work, I went and sat in the restaurant and I ordered me some food. I ordered an appetizer. And I was going to get tea, but I said, oh no, I'm going for the gusto today. I'm getting a soda. I got soda. And the whole time I was in there, I was on the phone with my best friend. And so we was laughing and joking and having a good time. My little tank was feeling pretty good. It was feeling pretty good. You got to do what works for you. And you also need to communicate to other people that you're in friendships and relationships with, like what you need. You can't assume that they can just read your mind. Like long gone are those days. Long gone are those days where you got all this stuff in your mind and in your heart, but you're not sharing it. But you expect for the people to do it. We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. So I want to ask, what fills or adds to your love tank? If you would, if you're on Zoom, if you want to unmute yourself and just share, or you can type it in the comment section and I can read it out. If you're on Facebook Live and you want to share with us what fills your love tank, what makes you feel special, and share with us from what area. Like doing so and so and so and so with my family fills my love tank. When my significant other does this, it fills my love tank. Because we need some ideas. We need some insight. We need some guidance. We need some know-how, some to-dos. We need some things that we can say, oh, well, I saw on Facebook Live that so-and-so said that when dealing with her children, she does this. We need to be able to share with one another what fills our love tank. Because iron does sharpen iron. If I know something, if I have some knowledge and some understanding and I share it with other people, then I won't be the only person that's blessed. Then other people can be blessed and they may share it with others, and then it may grow and grow and grow and grow. So we've impacted a lot of people, a whole lot of people. So I'm going to give you just about 30 seconds to just type in the comments what feels. JB says effective communication. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that sometimes people with regular communication, they don't get it. They just think, oh, well, I said what I said and that's it. But effective communication, being able to effectively share what you want to share, say what you want to say, express yourself in a good way, and also be able to receive what someone else is expressing to you as well. That, to me, that's like the icing on the cake for me. It absolutely is. So anybody else want to share with us what fills your love tank? What does it for you? What makes you feel special? What makes you feel like over the top, amazing, and fantastic? While I'm waiting on some comments to go in, I can share, for me recently, my mother's side of the family, we had like a little family function where we went to one of my auntie's house and cooked out and different things like that. And it wasn't like, it was just family time. That was amazing. Because some of us hadn't seen each other in a while. Some of us hadn't spent time together. So we just literally laughed and joked and ate and had such a spectacular time. And it was like at the end of the night, like nobody really wanted to go home. People kept saying, well, we about to go. And then they'll stand around for a little bit. Well, we about to go. Then they'll stand around for a little bit more. And so for me, I just need that. Like every couple of months or so, I just need to kind of kick it and hang out and go to my auntie's house and sit on her couch and like eat some of her good food. And then like my other aunt brings something. And then, I get a bunch of hugs, a bunch of sugar, and we love on each other and we laugh and joke and crack jokes and have a good time. My good sister says, my family, just spending time with them since I'm so far away. Yeah, because you should just get in your car and just come to South Carolina. That's what you should do. Like every month, at least once a month, you should just come on to South Carolina. Just, and then maybe like every 3 months or maybe every 6 months, you can come through South Carolina and pick me up and we can go to Jersey. How about that? We need to plan us a trip to Jersey. And bring varsity. Absolutely. That's my love language. Like I be asking people to bring me the varsity food and they don't understand that that's a gift. So that's literally my love language. Like if somebody is in the greater Atlanta area and you are coming to West Columbia, South Carolina, please stop by the varsity and get me 2 chili cheese slaw dogs, some onion rings and some fries. and a sweet tea and 2 peach pies. Yeah, I know it's a lot of food, but I love it. It's not good. It's not healthy. But every now and again, I just love the varsity. So I need for us to understand that it is very important for us to think when it comes to filling love tanks. Think when it comes to doing special stuff for people. Think when it comes to sharing in the areas that mean the most to people. I know it's a lot of work that we have to do already. It's a lot of things that we have to do. I get it. We live very busy lives. We live, for some of us, we live full lives in that we have lots of things to do and lots of work to do. We are active. We're working. We're raising children. We're raising grandchildren. We're spending time with family. We're trying to keep balance. I firmly believe that knowing and understanding about love tanks, knowing and understanding, hey, Candy, how you doing? Knowing and understanding why being aware of a person's love tank is important and what's important to them, it has the ability to grow us in ways unimaginable. It absolutely does. Because I just think to myself, and I use myself as a guide and a testimony, that when I think of my adult children, y'all know I love my kids. And they grown. I absolutely love my children. But I can remember times where I didn't get it. Times where I didn't understand. Times where I was so busy trying to live, so busy trying to survive, so busy trying to make it, so busy trying to pay bills that I missed the mark on what they really needed in the way of knowing that they were loved, that they were valued, and they were cared for. Hey, Auntie, how you doing? Hey, woman of God, how you doing? I missed it. I absolutely missed it. And even sometimes now, with their grown self, we talking 26, 23, and 21. There are some times where I think about their love tanks, even as they are living their adult lives. I think about their love tanks and I try to do little stuff to kind of make them feel special. You know, I'll pick up something from the store that they may need, or at least their mama think that they need. I'll pick up something from the store that they like. Or, you know, if they're here and I stopped and got me something to eat or whatever, I'll bring them a sandwich or something like. And it's not anything major. It's to let them know that I'm thinking about them, that I'm caring about them. And no matter how old that they are, they're still mamas. They're still mama's baby, and I still love them, and I still want the best for them. You know, sometimes I just, just kind of sit down and spend some quality time with them. And we don't really be doing nothing major. We're just sitting around, just spending time with each other. Because people, y'all, we need to know that people love us. There's so much negativity. There's so much hatred. There's so many less than things that are going on in the world. We need to know and hear from other people that they love us. And we need to be able to express that to other people. We got to love on people. We absolutely should. We got to tell them how special that they are to us. I know my folks, anybody who talk to me regularly, in my regular circle of people, whether it's family, whether it's friends, extended friends, I know they get tired of me telling them that I love them. I love you. I love you. Why? Because I mean it, number one. And number two, I know people need to hear it. And some people are not quite there. They're not quite, well, you need to tell me you love me. You need to share that with me. They're not there to express that. So my thing is, and this is just me, nobody else. This is what I do, and I don't try to put this off on anybody else. I mean, I used to put it off on my children, and now they do it to me. Tell people you love them, because you never know. We should not live in the shadow of death or loss. We should not let that be our guide. But tomorrow is not promised. It's not promised at all. That's why we need to enjoy today. The next moment is not promised. That's why we need to enjoy today. The next hour is not promised. That's why we need to love on people and fill their love tanks and make them feel as special as we want to feel. Do we always get it right back? Nope. Do we always get it back the way that we give it? Nope. Does everyone always put forth the same exact effort and energy that we do? Nope. Do people always do exactly what we want them to do so that we can feel special and cared for? Nope. But we should not give up trying. We should not. We should not give up trying. We should not give up hoping. And we should not give up loving. We got to love on each other. Reverend Perry says, I needed to hear this. Thank you, Lord. Oh, absolutely. We all needed to hear it. That's why I say I go back and read the book every couple of years or so. And sometimes, even if I don't have the tangible book in my hands, I'll just look it up online and just read back over it so I can be reminded. Janice, some people need to hear words of affirmation. And this is what I say to myself, because I try to check myself before I point the finger at what other people doing and not doing. I say, okay, Janice, some people they need quality time. You need to slow down a little bit and make some time to see a couple people, to go check on some people, pull up on a couple people, see how they doing or whatever. Okay, Janice, acts of service. I think to myself, like, who can I drop a card to? Who can I, send a quick anonymous note to let them know how special that they feel? Who can I, out of the blue, show up with a gift for a birthday gift or whatever? People need that. They really need that. Keena says, I just told mine this morning to make sure to take lots of pictures with their babies because there are moments they're going to miss. Oh my God. The moments go by so quick. Y'all, I got like 8,000 pictures in my phone. And probably about 5,500 of them are of my grandchildren. They are. I take pictures of my big kids, especially when we get together. If I have all three of my children and all of my grandchildren in the same place, they already know what's going down. All right, let's get our photo ops, and they be like, Mom. But they get up and do it because they know that fills my love tank. So I can go back. That means when I'm sitting at my desk and I'm feeling some kind of way, and I pull up my gallery and I look at the pictures of my kids and I think, God, thank you. Thank you for blessing me with them. When I'm sharing posts and trying to encourage and trying to inspire people, and I run across pictures of my grandkids with just the innocence on their face and a smile, it does it for me, y'all. It absolutely does it for me. And so I encourage us to love on each other a little bit more. Spend a little bit more time with each other. Drop somebody a gift that they're not looking for. Say to them that they are amazing. Give some encouragement. Just build people up where they really, really need to be built up. We don't do that nearly enough. Volunteer your time sometimes. It doesn't have to be days and days and days. It could be a day, a moment. You can be in a grocery store and see someone drop something, and instead of them doing it, you say, no, I got it. Acts of service. We got to do for people, y'all. We are not in this world alone. And the sad truth is that some people don't necessarily have what we have. Some people don't necessarily have somebody to tell them that they love them and they care about them. Some people don't necessarily have someone that even cares about their love tanks. So as we are going about our daily lives, as we are living our daily lives, I encourage each and every one of us just to do better, do more, and do greater. Work on filling some love tanks. Work on filling your own for your own personal self first, and then work on filling those who you love, those who you care about, those who you spend time with, those who you work with, those who you encounter via churches and ministries and groups and organizations. Work on that. It is my encouragement. It has been amazing talking to you guys so far. I was not trying to cry on tonight, but it just happens. So next week, we will continue our discussion. Our reference material will still be the same. Gary Chapman's The 5 Love Languages. If you haven't gotten it already, please get the book. Please do. Gary, I just want Mr. Chapman to know that I am a strong proponent of his book. Like, it's amazing. Get the book, read it, do the workbook, take the quiz. Just kind of see where you're at. You can look it up online. It is at the 5lovelanguages.com. The quiz is right there. You can purchase the book at bookstores, local bookstores, online, via digital content. You can get that book. We're going to continue the discussion on next week. And next week, we're going to go a little bit deeper and veer off a little bit. And we're going to talk about workplace love languages. Workplace love languages. We need to get it out there, y'all. We need to get it out there. We need to have a interesting discussion. I am looking forward to you guys coming back and meeting us right here next week at 7:30 p.m. on the Ask Jan Please Talk session. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you to those that shared your comments. I appreciate your courage. I appreciate just you being willing to share with us on tonight. Thank you to those that joined us via Zoom, that join us via Facebook Live, and absolutely thank you to those that go back and catch the replay. Leave your comments in the comment section, and I will send you either a reply or a private message, depending upon how you reach out to me. As always, you can continue to send topics, questions, interests to our email, which is askjanplease@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you right back here next week. You guys have a great rest of your week.